Get used to the new hairstyle, mom. So I was raised in a very controlling family. My mom is a hairstylist. In the 18 years I was in her house, I never once got to decide how I got to have my hair. I was forced to wear some dumb parted comb over haircut for 18 years. I gave up trying to fight her on it. Every time I would argue with her, my dad would beat my ass. Left that place 15 years ago and have only in the last few years rekindled our relationship. They no longer have any control over me. I've always buzzed my hair cause I hated the way I looked. My wife has always wanted me to grow my hair out, but I've never even gave it a chance. I learned a lot about self-love while I was kicking cancer's ass. When my hair started growing back, I decided I was going to grow it out for my wife. My hair is almost down to my shoulders after 1.5 years. Wife loves it. My mom and sister hate it. A couple times a week either my mom or sister will ask me to let my mom cut it. I'm growing it out for me cause I actually think I look pretty sexy with longer hair. I get a giggle every time my mom begs me to please come up to her salon to get it cut. Sorry mom, this is your punishment for 18 years of emotional abuse. Revenge a la Baby Shark. For my husband's birthday I got him a waterproof speaker for the shower as a fun side gift, but he now uses it solely to annoy me. Almost every time I take a shower, he connects his phone and starts blasting awful songs that he knows will get stuck in my head for the rest of the day. His personal favorite is Baby Shark. One day we were driving somewhere but had to drive separately as we would be parting ways after. Unfortunately for him though, we got stuck in some nasty stop and go traffic and I was right behind him. I then remembered that I have my phone connected to his car speaker Bluetooth, so I whip out my phone. Like I said, we weren't constantly moving and got stuck at many stoplights. Prepare the song that had been swirling in my head since that morning and force disconnect his phone to link mine. I watch in his rearview mirror as the wonderful tune of Baby Shark blasts through his speakers and I can see his face yelling, no. He managed to get it off pretty quickly, but for the rest of the drive anytime we came to a stop I would resume my tirade of Baby Shark. We got to our destination and had a pretty good laugh about it, but now our home is in an all-out speaker war. However, I will always remember my glorious win on that day. You want to honk and shout at me for not going? Enjoy the car wash. This happened a few weeks ago, and while I wanted to post it somewhere, I didn't actually find the right sub until I thought of this one. Hopefully you get a good laugh out of it. I was driving back from work the other day, and I had to make a right turn from a stop sign onto a busy highway. The background here is that I drive an old Jeep, which is by no means quick enough to accelerate into a risky turn. So, picture me, stopped at this stop sign. A white Mercedes pulls up behind me with a younger driver. I think nothing of it, but then there's a decent gap in traffic. I could have gone, but we were sitting on a gravel road and I knew I wouldn't get enough traction to make it. So I wait. This really pisses off the Mercedes driver, who starts honking at me and shouts obscenities out of his window. That did me in. So, I waited for the next decent gap, and then I floored it. Remember when I said we were on a gravel road, muddy from the rain? As soon as I stepped on it, my rear tires started spinning and absolutely coated the front of this Mercedes with mud, rocks, and water. I have never seen a person so mad in my entire life. He cut into traffic to chase me and gave me all sorts of gestures and curses. I just laughed, gave him the bird, and went about my way. Trick or treat. Apparently our neighbor's boys are getting in the spirit of Halloween. Our doorbell rang this evening. When we opened the door, no one was there. A few minutes later it rang again. Again, no one. But we did notice some kids hiding behind our car. These boys are pretty young. Approximately 8 and 5 years of age. We acknowledged that we saw them and thought that would be the end of it. They rang the doorbell again. At this point, I was mildly annoyed. When we opened the door they yelled, "You aren't falling for our prank." We told them that we weren't going to and they should go home. Then they rang the doorbell again. We didn't answer, but I figured they wouldn't let it go. I found a spot to watch them and waited until they were next to our car on the way to the door and set off the alarm via the panic button. They jumped back and dropped the stick they had in their hands to ring the doorbell from a distance and turned and ran away. It was pretty entertaining to watch them scramble. A moment later we heard one of their parents yelling at them. Apparently the boys had somehow set off the alarm. No more doorbells. Thanks for watching and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Have a good one.